Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, and from Concerned Vets for America, Pete Hegseth is with us. Colonel Peters, welcome back to you. I want to go back to this underreported statement. Quote, it means that we're entering an area where American dominance in the sea, sky, and space can no longer be taken for granted. Isn't it our job to ensure that that's the case always? What is the world like without us being dominant in those areas?
Well, it's a much, much uglier world. And I think Hagel will use that as an excuse, and is using it as an excuse, for funneling money to defense industry. It's a political strategy, get votes in the home districts. But, Sean, my fundamental problem with Hagel's sleepyhead speech today is that there's no military strategy evident. There's no strategic vision except for a political strategy. And when I look at it, for instance, the Vice President just talked about the Pentagon's notion and the Obama administration's notion that, well, we want to cut the Army so that we won't be able to do another long-term occupation. That's like canceling your fire insurance to prevent fires. The most versatile force we have for long-term stability, for long-term activities around the world remains the individual soldier and Marine. And what I want to see is a balanced force that makes sense. And oh, by the way, did you notice Hagel didn't mention today? He talked about preserving the industrial base. He did not talk about defense industry responsibility to the taxpayer.
Pete, your reaction pre-World War II levels, a little frightening.
It's very frightening. You know, decline is a choice, and the Colonel's right. This administration, if there's one policy that came out of this speech, it's shrinking American obligation, American responsibility, tying our own hands, tying the hands of future presidents, and an inability to address whatever threat may be. You know what? Everyone involved in this policy decision-making process, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Chuck Hagel, they were all senators in 2007 who opposed the Iraq surge and said never again. And that's what we're seeing right here. They don't want another prolonged land war. Nobody does. But guess what? The enemy gets a vote. We don't get to pick always our next threat. And so to reduce ourselves so we can't address it is very... There's plenty of waste and fat to be cut at the Pentagon, and our organization's involved in going after it. But this doesn't fundamentally do that, and it lacks a coherent strategy.
Yeah. Sounds like leading from behind on steroids. All right, guys, good to see you both. Thank you for your input.
Thank you.